Hello, good evening, and welcome to another weekend edition of Metro News on Metro TV. We are coming to you live from our studios here in Labone, Accra. My name is KWASI Afriyie. Let's have a look at our top stories for tonight's bulletin. Accra Regional Police Command arrests 28-year-old Osman Razak for digging underground cables that connects electricity poles along the Tema motorway. Last batch of 350 pilgrims arrived in Ghana after the annual rituals in the Holy Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And EcoBank Ghana supports 25 needy but brilliant children from various parts of the country with a 3-year full senior high school scholarship package. Well, this bulletin is also live on DSTV channel 277. Let's get into the details of the news now. And the Accra Regional Police Command has arrested a 28-year-old Osman Razak for digging underground cables that connect electricity poles along the Tema motorway. His activities, according to the police, have rendered many of the electric poles along the motorway dysfunctional.
The suspect, Osman Razak, was arrested on 21st of October upon a tip-off by some residents along the Tema motorway. The trench digger, who uses shovel, a mattock and pickaxe for his activities, has destroyed about 20 electric poles, plunging the entire road into darkness. ACP Yosa Bonga is the Deputy Regional Commander.
Police for some time now has observed the rampant stealing and destruction of electricity and telephone cables in the Accra metropolis by unidentified persons. Hence, the Regional Police Command intensified day and night patrols and paid extra vigilance to streamline strategies to curtail this menace.
According to the suspect, he was hired by one Kobi to do the illegal activity.
He gave me the job here to come and dig that we are coming to lay some cable here. So always, if I can't hear, even the people around, they meet me, they ask me. I used to tell them that it's this thing that I'm coming to do, the trench work that I'm doing.
He has been detained at the airport police station for further investigation.
Let's get into some politics now. And the National Executive Committee of the New Patriotic Party has indefinitely suspended party chairman Paul AFOKO with immediate effect. The unanimous decision, which makes the first vice chairman of the party, Freddie Blay, interim chairman, was taken on the recommendations of the National Disciplinary Committee of the party.
The party's council, in a 7-page letter in September 2015 to the NPP's disciplinary committee, ordered that steps be taken to suspend Paul AFOKO from the position of national chairman. The decision was taken on Friday after a crunch neck meeting which took the unanimous decision.
Now, by that endorsement, Mr. Paul AFOKO is suspended from the position of national chairman of the NPP. Indefinite suspension. Well, any decision that is taken by anybody will affect the party one way or the other. The National Executive Committee is fully aware of the implications of any decision. Obviously, in the wisdom of the National Executive Committee, on balance, they believe that this is the interest of the party.
Earlier Friday morning, there was total chaos at the party's headquarters when a vigilante group, allegedly in bed with the party's chairman, clashed with the Invincible Force, a security wing of the party. The clash led to the burning of a motorbike, but was brought under control by the police.
Well, now a candidate contesting the NDC Kote-Klole parliamentary primaries, Samuel Constant Kweku, has withdrawn from the race and thrown his weight behind Dr. ZENATOR RAWLINGS to win the parliamentary primaries slated for November 7th. Samuel Constant Kweku has thus asked supporters to support his decision, which is aimed at ensuring that the NDC retains the Kote-Klole seat in the 2016 parliamentary elections.
The Kote-Klole constituency seems to be gathering a lot of attention in recent times because incumbent MP Nneɛma Ashite is facing stiff competition from daughter of former President Rawlings, Dr. ZENATOR Rawlings. Political pundits are predicting the constituency to be one of the most exciting to watch in the November 7th presidential and parliamentary primaries of the ruling NDC. Well, on Friday, 23rd October, one of the candidates vying for the KWASI parliamentary seat chickened out of the race to throw his weight behind Dr. ZENATOR Rawlings.
I have withdrawn from the NDC KWASI parliamentary race. In view of this, I have personally, for the good of the party, to throw my weight behind Dr. ZENATOR Rawlings. I request all my supporters to make our dreams of retaining the KWASI seat. I have taken this decision not for my own interest, but for the common good of the people of KWASI constituency.
Answering questions from the media, Samuel Constant Kweku denied accusations from his critics that he was impressed upon to step down for the daughter of the former president.
Once it is politics, people will try to read meanings into this. And the doctor preaches about teaching you how to fish. And I think that's exactly what I also teach the people. I tell them that I can lead them, to fish. So it's just, we are on the same path. So people might read meanings into it. But trust me, that's the girl.
The NDC has meanwhile dispatched its membership voters register to the regions for vetting at the branch and constituency levels ahead of the November 7th primaries. Frank Nyonato, Metro News, Accra.
Well, so that's the update from the KWASI constituency. Now, the Executive Secretary of the Narcotics Control Board, Yao Akrasisapon, has pointed the failure of the state to institute smart policies as a major challenge to fighting drug addiction. He has therefore proposed the decriminalization of smoking marijuana. He was speaking at a training workshop aimed at the formation of anti-drug coalitions in Ghanaian communities to help reduce drug and substance abuse in Ghana.
The anti-drug training workshop organized by the Philip Foundation with support from the Community Anti-Drug Coalition of America brought together participants from major stakeholders, including the police, NCCE, Ghana Education Service, Ministry of Health, NACOB, and opinion leaders. A training consultant from Community Anti-Drug Coalition of America, David Chavel, hinted that the training would empower the communities to create an environment that would help young people make healthy decisions by abstaining from drugs.
The community has to decide for itself how it will create an environment that helps young people make healthy decisions so they can decide to have a good life and to have a family and not to become involved in using marijuana or other hard drugs.
The Executive Secretary of Narcotic Control Board, Yao Akrasisapon, intimated that it was not always right to put drugs addicts in the hands of the criminal justice system, but rather in the hands of the public health system, what he called discriminalization of addiction.
Even if you're having law enforcement, it has to be a smart law enforcement policy. In other words, you should be dealing more with the drug trafficking organizations, the networks, especially. So there must always be a law in place that deals with transnational organized crime, and within that, drug trafficking organizations. So that is what we as a country, as a law enforcement intelligence agencies, must be patient enough.
He added that the drug barons at the top of the supply chain are those who must be put into jail.
Now, the last batch of Hajj pilgrims numbering 350 arrived at the Kotoka International Airport on Friday afternoon. Most of them who spoke to Metro News expressed sympathies for the 26 Ghanaians who died in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia during the rituals. A total of 5,424 Ghanaian pilgrims participated in this year's pilgrimage to the Holy Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This year's exercise, however, did not go down well, as over 800 pilgrims lost their lives in fatal stampede near the holy city of Mina. On Friday, a total of 350 pilgrims arrived on the last flight from Mecca. They were met on arrival by hundreds of family members who had thronged the Hajj village to welcome them.
It is really unfortunate that 2015 Hajj came with a lot of challenges. You remember the crane accident. We talk about the stampede and a whole lot. And then even in Ghana here, before we started flying to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we have problem with visa.
Members of the Hajj Agents Association used the occasion to sympathize with fellow pilgrims who lost their lives.
We've said some prayers in Mecca and to those departed souls. And we are planning back home here to have a grand Adua, we call Adua, prayers. Yeah, this will be followed by, visiting the relatives of those, yeah.
To Suriname and Tirgana Zaha Gabadea. The Bishadin Nama Naunda Talana. Now mean Talma, this is so come Nauni Zumo Nambo, Kacheka, Benjala Benvupune.
We pray to Allah. It is no fault of theirs. They should be able to let them rest in peace and in perfect peace.
In all, 19 Ghanaians died during the stampede, whilst 7 others died naturally and have since been laid to rest. This is Metro News. We have more stories coming up. Please don't go away. You're welcome back. You're still watching the weekend edition of Metro News. Now, in some more stories, EcoBank Ghana has supported 25 needy but brilliant children from various parts of the country with a 3-year full senior high school scholarship package. The gesture forms part of the EcoBank Day, which is marked on the first Saturday of October every year. Gabriel Obudai has more.
The EcoBank Day is celebrated on the first Saturday of every October by 36 countries across Africa. Major projects identified for this year's event included the provision of 8 boreholes in schools and hospitals, medical equipment, 100 treated mosquito nets, 100 mattresses, 30 refurbished computers, an incubator, and cleaning materials for schools across the 10 regions of Ghana.
For Ghana, we believe that we could spend 600,000 Ghana cedis. So this is a decision of the affiliates in Ghana that we want to impact our community with various items and donations, contributions totaling 600,000.
Additionally, 25 needy but brilliant children received a 3-year full scholarship to further their education at the senior high school. The Lanquantana cluster of schools, which hosted the highlight event, saw the commissioning of a new borehole and massive cleanup exercise by EcoBank staff.
Every African child deserves a better future. So we asked ourselves, what can we do to impact the lives of the African child? And we think that sanitation is very key, right? Water issues are very topical. So that is why we, of course, in consultation with the communities that we are providing these things for, water was identified as one of the key things that most of the communities deserve.
Meanwhile, the bank has also donated assorted items and a cash amount of 7,500 cedis to the Accra Psychiatric Hospital.
We're so happy that we've been able to do this for this hospital because it's a unique gesture that we're showing, and we're doing this in the spirit of giving. We were told that the hospital does not receive subvention on time. Okay, so they have to rely on philanthropists and corporate institutions like us. So this should be an eye-opener to other institutions and other individuals who may want to give out of their free will to support this worthy cause.
The day was marked under the theme, "Every child in Africa deserves a better future."
And now the Ministry of Finance has maintained that the issuance of the fourth Eurobond is in the interest of the nation, and in spite of setbacks the country has experienced in recent times, medium-term prospects for the country remains bright. During a press conference in Accra, the ministry assured that a perennial power outage in the country would surely end by the end of the year as promised.
The Minister of Finance indicated that the funds accruing from the fourth Eurobond would primarily be used to offset outstanding bonds and support infrastructural development. Seth Tekwe explained that Ghana has suffered significant economic setbacks, partly because of challenges in major countries like China. He, however, expressed optimism that the medium-term prospects for the country are bright.
The slowdown in growth of China, which is one of the factors that has led to the instability of the market. We need to have a very viable gas policy, gas pricing, because, as I said from the beginning, the plans we have now are all based on utilizing the gas. So we have the IPPs that are going to come in.
Williams Samapia of the Power Ministry also assured that the power crisis in the country will end by the end of 2015.
Before the end of the year, we have projections that will end the current situation and have in excess, so that it will help us to plan. The current situation is such that if a unit has to go down for maintenance, we get into trouble. But we should get into the situation where we can plan maintenance and the unit will shut down and you will not even feel it.
The Finance Ministry explained that its prudent debt management strategy and robust fundamental support would put the country on track for fast economic growth.
Oil and gas exploration giant Tullow Ghana Limited has been ranked #1 in the 14th Ghana Club 100 Awards. The event, which took place at the banquet hall of the State House, aims at encouraging competition and improving on product and services in the country.
Club 100 Awards is an annual compilation of top 100 companies launched in 1998 to give due recognition to successful enterprises. This 2013-2014 event, held at the banquet hall of the State House, was on the theme Impact Investments and Sustainable Economic Development. Chief Executive Officer of GIPC Mawena Treba reiterated the Centre's resolve to attract foreign direct investments beyond financial returns.
We'll also be inviting companies in the Club 100 to support us when we're engaging with the international business community. The other benefits will obviously be to ensure that when we're showcasing Ghana outside the country, they, as corporate superstars, if you will be invited and join us and talk about their experiences.
Oil and gas exploration giant Tullow Ghana Limited was ranked first in the 14th Ghana Club 100 Awards held on Thursday. Ramel International Group, which placed 64th in the 2012 rankings, placed second in the 2014 listings. Manufacturing firm Multi-Pro Private Limited ranked third. Chief of Staff Julius Deborah stressed on government's resolve to put policies in place to help the investors grow in their businesses.
As we move ahead with the implementation of our agenda for transformation, it is you, the business leaders, who will help us identify the opportunities within the private sector. It is for you business leaders to be innovative and take advantage of the openings that are available and seek the partnership of the international and local investors to ensure the sustainable development of this country.
To be eligible for the Ghana Club 100 rankings, companies must be limited liability firms. For companies with government interest, government's share should be less than 50% unless the company is listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange.
And now the biggest airline in Africa, Ethiopian Airline, has held an award ceremony to honor the winner of the Ethiopian Airline at 70 logo promotion. Management of the airline used the occasion to assure its customers of the introduction of new routes and improved services.
Ethiopian Airlines is Africa's largest airline and one of the only 4 airlines in Africa with over 5 million annual passengers. The draw for the Ethiopian Airlines 70th anniversary logo competition was open from June to July 2015 with over 1,000 applicants. The winner for the competition went to a Ghanaian creative designer, Neokai Ajedu, who went home with 2 free tickets to any Ethiopian airline destination and an undisclosed amount of money. Area manager of Ethiopian Airlines, Janet Michael, says the airline is poised to improve on its services.
We are doing with Dreamliner 787 daily flight, and now more customers are coming by knowing the service, the comfort and everything, and I think we are in the right track now.
Also present at the occasion was the Ethiopian ambassador to Ghana.
The Ghanaians can use Ethiopian Airlines always because this shows that Ethiopian Airlines have daily flight from Accra to Addis Ababa and from Addis Ababa to Accra. This can show that Ethiopian Airlines have many customers from Ghana to Ethiopia and from Ethiopia to Ghana. It is safest, you know that. Because of this, it has many customers. Because of this, they opened many destinations. As I told you, it have 91 destinations in the world.
Winner for the draw, Neokai Ajedu, could not hide his excitement.
Anyway, I think it's something good as a beginner in my company. If this comes, that means that there are a lot ahead of us for us to take. So I'm excited.
Management of the airline say they would continue to bring on board more innovative ideas to enhance service delivery.
And now a former Defense Minister, Dr. Kwame Adokufo, has stated that Ghana stands to wallow in poverty if partisan consideration for political party leadership is prioritized over competency and discipline. Speaking at the 7th Young Professionals Transformational Leadership Conference in Accra, Dr. Adokufo admonished leadership based on competency and qualities that would inspire followers for selfless service.
The 7th Young Professionals Transformational Leadership Conference was under the theme, Empowering the Next Generation of Leaders for Africa. Key issues discussed were on entrepreneurship, business development, and qualities of a good leader. Former Minister of Defense, Dr. Kwame Adokufo, bemoaned partisan consideration for political leadership in the country over competency.
Africa abounds with many nations where elections are regularly held, and yet the people live in poverty, and the leaders go around the globe with begging bowls, asking for support, because we've allowed loyalty to the party to override competence, integrity, experience, and patriotism when appointments to important national leadership positions are made. If you go along that path, the country will crawl.
Former Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Dr. Joyce Ayi, advised the youngsters present at the conference to acquire positive leadership qualities that will transform their lives and society at large.
Learning to lead with integrity requires developing self-awareness, adhering to a strict moral code, and communicating truthfully with group members, regardless of the complexity of the situation or the possibility of negative consequences.
The conference, held at the Accra Conference Center, attracted hundreds of youth from across the country. Those who have excelled in their respective fields of endeavor were awarded.
We will take another breather here, but we have more stories coming up. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. Now, the All Saints Anglican Church at Adabraka, as part of its corporate social responsibility, has donated assorted items worth 5,000 Ghana cedis to the Accra Psychiatric Hospital in support of its operations.
The gesture by the Adabraka branch of the All Saints Anglican Church is in response to the growing demands of the Accra Psychiatric Hospital. The items donated included toiletries, bags of rice, gallons of cooking oil and detergents in support of the welfare of inmates at the hospital. Parish priest of the All Saints Anglican Church, Ven Edmond Mensah Tete, stressed on the need for such key institutions to be supported.
Every year we make it our aim to come and visit this place and to donate something to them. Plead with all of them to come and assist, because their condition, anybody can fall into their condition. Mental illness can come to you at any time. And so if somebody is unfortunate to be there, we shouldn't see ourselves as, because we are not mentally ill, we look down on them. We should sympathize and empathize with them so that we help them.
Principal Nursing Officer at the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, Beatrice Nyako, who received the items on behalf of the hospital, expressed appreciation and called for support from other corporate and religious bodies.
I'm very grateful and thankful to God and to the All Saints Anglican Church. In fact, the things that they have brought, some of them were things that we really needed, and they've come at the right time. We know it's going a long way to help us. And I ask God's blessing and also ask corporate organizations, other religious bodies, and individuals to emulate what the All Saints Anglican Church have done today. We are very grateful.
The Accra Psychiatric Hospital has over 300 inmates undergoing treatment at the hospital.
Accra Regional Police Command arrests 28-year-old Osman Razak for digging underground cables that connects electricity poles along the Tama motorway. Last batch of 350 pilgrims arrive in Ghana after the annual rituals in the Holy Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. EcoBank Ghana supports 25 needy but brilliant children from various parts of the country with a 3-year full senior high school scholarship package. And that's all about it for now. My name is Kwasi Afriyie. Enjoy the rest of our programs.